But if I put him into a family-friendly comedy or something like that, it's not that interesting. And also, that's kind of what he was doing already, sort of. But if you put it in a horror movie, it's something completely different. Like it's never been done before. And in a world where everything has been done before, it's kind of nice to find something a little new. You turn something childhood into something scary.
A big screen fish. Welcome to Simon Phillips, star of the Mousetrap. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Raven. How are you?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. I'm actually just currently enjoying the sun.
Very good.
I gotta say, this film was a wild ride. Okay, I did not know what to expect. I think like the whole time I was watching this film, my jaw was just like, what is going on? What drew you to this project?
I'm sure you may have heard of that. Last year they made a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Um,
Yes, yes.
Bloody. So I thought, and I didn't really realize that stuff when it comes into public domain, like if it's been in copyright and then it comes out of copyright, that anybody can do anything with it. And somebody mentioned
Uh-huh.
to me last year that they go, oh, Mickey Mouse is coming into public domain next year, and I was like, oh wow, we should totally make a Mickey Mouse slasher horror movie like in the 90s. I would love that. And then
Naturally.
I told Jamie Bailey about it, and we made the movie. So yeah,
Wow. Well, I'm glad you did because I never thought in my lifetime that I would see like Mickey Mouse as a cold-hearted killer. Okay. What did you even have to do to like get into the mindset of this like beloved Disney character as like a haunting nightmare?
yeah. I suppose you just have to not think of him actually like that. That's the way to do it. Is go well. I've made horror movies before where I've been the serial killer or the bad guy or whatever. So you just have to think of it like that, And what's sometimes scary is not knowing what they want. If you're ever in a movie and you're like, well, Jesus, what does this guy want? Like sort of, and you're like, and they don't answer you. It's kind of more
Yeah,
scary. Like, I don't know why he's doing what he's doing, and that kind of makes it scary sometimes. Like, because it does whatever you do, you can't satisfy it. You can't, so you have to fight it. That's the only thing you can do.
agreed. No, agreed. Because I even just watched it, I'm like, I don't like why what's he why is he doing this? And some of those kills, man, oh my gosh. I was like, what is happening? The nightmares I'm gonna have tonight. What
Yes,
was your
I apologize. Yeah.
yes, thank you for that. I thank you for doing that to me. What was your favorite part about playing Mickey Mouse as this killer though? Like what did you love
Uh,
most about it?
just that we were the first people to do it, sort of. So a
Yeah.
little piece of cinema history will belong to us from tomorrow. That we're the first guys to turn it on its head, and that's always exciting because it's like if Mickey Mouse, you could do anything with him, or the original Steamboat Mickey Mouse. Disney's still owned by
Hmm.
the latter Mickey Mouse, but I'm talking about the original one.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
do anything with it now. But if I put him into a family-friendly comedy or something like that, it's not that interesting. And also, that's kind of what he was doing already, sort of. But if you put it in a horror movie, it's something completely different. Like it's never been done before. Um, and in a world where everything has been done before, it's kind of nice to find something a little new. You turn something childhood into something scary. I mean, me, like, a lot of adults are scared of clowns. And that's because,
Oh, I'm one of those adults. I'm one of
oh,
those
okay. So you
adults.
see, that's and a clown is obviously supposed to be something child friendly. Like sort of it's supposed
Yeah,
to, yeah. And but then you're like, no, I can't. Adults are like, no, I don't, I do not like clowns. I found them scary. This is our attempt at doing
yeah.
that, taking something that's supposed to be kid friendly and making it scary.
I definitely think you do have like an instant cult classic on your hands because this is the first time for me I've seen an immersion of like procedural cop drama meets classic 90s slasher meets Steamboat Willie. And one thing I was thinking when I was watching this was sorry, Steamboat Mickey. When I was watching this was that it really does feel like that nostalgic 90s slasher vibe, like especially with the cast chemistry, which we'll get to in a second. Um, was it challenging, or maybe not challenging is the word? Like, what was the experience of bringing that concept to life for you? Because, like you said, it's the first of its kind. What did you kind of have to do working with the director and the rest of the cast to say, okay, guys, like, what are we going to do to make this real?
Yeah, I mean, so we myself and the director have made horror movies before, and we've made horror
Hmm.
movies with a guy in a mask before. So
Hmm.
we know how to sort of structure a movie to going right. You have to have something dangerous, and you show it a little bit, and then you start showing it a lot towards the end. Sort of you just tease at it so that people get a feeling of, oh, they're being watched. You know that it's dangerous, sort of, or whatever the energy is. So we've done that before. I had the idea when I heard about what they did with Winnie the Pooh. Sort of
Hmm.
when they made a horror movie of that, and I thought that was a great idea. Maybe not a great movie, but a great idea certainly. Uh, it was a great idea. It was a
Great. It was a great idea. I agree. A great idea.
a great idea. So I was like, I knew that was something to do. And I had the idea. I was like, right, a bunch of like young kids, who were trapped in an amusement arcade. And I like that it's an amusement arcade because it's like it's
Yes.
supposed to be an area where you play, like even adults play still like at the arcade. And so I went and found an arcade that would allow us to film the movie, and then I wrote the movie based on the one I found because it was easier to write it knowing exactly where we'd be. So like, there's a roller coaster in it, and I was like, "Oh, can we use the roller coaster?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay." So I write
Yeah.
for that, or yeah, can we use the laser tag room? And they're like, "Yeah, you can use everything." So it was like, okay, great. So when they allowed us to do that, it made writing the script kind of fun because I knew all the things that we could do. Also, it was great fun filming in an arcade because we had to
Yeah.
film overnight. So we had the whole place to ourselves. We filmed it when it was closed, and we got me and the director got they gave us cards that we could just swipe on any machine and it would let us play the games for free. It was great.
Oh, nice.
So that's what we
Yeah.
did in all our breaks is play the games.
I mean, naturally. And then also it makes it, like this is actually happening to us, right? Like we're playing games. Who knows who's around the
Yeah,
corner?
exactly. Just big kids playing make believe.
I listen, the cast chemistry, I want to talk about this because there's some real gem scenes, like especially the roller coaster scene, which I won't spoil, but I was like literally crying. Like it was so funny. But the cast chemistry was so well done. And I felt like watching these characters, they were familiar. Were like were these characters influenced by like kids from a small town? Because that's what I was feeling like
Yeah.
they were kind of a-holes, the hockey team that are toxic masculinity, the bravado type guys, where you can't touch us, we're tough, the nice innocent girl, the popular girls. It all just went so well together. It was like nostalgia that I didn't know that I was kind of missing.
I
What
I think
what
what the
can you talk about more of that?
Well, my desire for it is to make a like I'm an 80s baby, right? So 90s
Yeah,
slash movies are the movies that I grew up on that I loved. Like I loved
yeah.
all that. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, like I mean I loved all those. So when it
Hmm.
came to doing this, sort of Freddy Krueger and all those things, when it came to doing this, I just kind of wanted that. And in those movies, you kind of got quite stereotypical characters. You had the hockey guy, and you had all that. So I was like, well, I'm
Hmm.
going to do something where I have that too. Like, and that's their whole identity. It's sort of simple a little bit, sort of okay, but that's your identity because the audience instantly recognize what you are, sort of. And if you
Hmm.
make it like a bit of a throwback, then that makes it. So I thought that was the most fun you could have with a bunch of characters. Is like giving them all that stuff, and they had, they were younger actors, so they were like, some of these guys, it's their first movie, and I was like, "This is your first movie?" And they're like, they'd done some bits before, but they had made a feature film before, and I was like,
Yeah,
"My word!" I was like, "I would love that. I would love if I was a younger actor that this was my first movie because that would be an insane
yeah.
introduction to making movies if that was your first." So,
One thing I just want to comment on about this movie that's like something I really loved is the how you handled the situation with the phones, especially for millennial Gen Z viewers. Because this is the one that always kind of ejects you from the reality of a movie is when they like, why didn't you just call the police? Right? Dealing with the phones in such a
yeah,
realistic way, like thumbs up. Like that was just I was like, that is such a nice
I,
touch. I love that you thought of that.
yeah. And again, like in 90s slasher movies, right? They didn't have to think of that, like sort of they
Exactly.
didn't have the phones. So yeah, I knew in the story we had to get rid of the phone straight away because you couldn't ignore it, as you say, because the
But
audience
so
were like,
many people
call
do.
the police,
So many Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, super awesome thought there. One question I have for you, is it possible that this is the beginning of the Disney killer in the public domain cinematic universe? Are we going to see more movies like
Are
this?
we going to see more movies? I don't think we're allowed to say no, we're not. No, I don't think we're allowed to say right now. where what the next step is. However, having said that, I would tell you that we're actively working on something else that we're probably going to announce later in the week.
Okay, well, I'm excited to hear that. So I know you definitely can't answer my next question because I was going to say, are we getting a sequel? Because I want to know more.
Well,
So
I'm
I
sure
guess I'll
you can imagine where we might go with a sequel because there's you know who else is in public domain is Minnie Mouse.
really, I did not know that.
She came
So,
into public
wow,
domain the exact same time as Mickey, so she's available.
wow,
So I don't know
this is exciting.
if I was thinking of ideas, I might suggest that Mickey Mouse teams up with Minnie Mouse to form a Joker Harley Quinn
Oh,
unstoppable duo.
I would never stop watching. I would never stop watching. But
And
speaking of that, where in your mind, like if you could take this anywhere with this character, you playing cold-hearted killer Mickey, how far do you want to take this character? What do you want to see happen with him?
listen, number one, we love Disney, right? This is that. It's not about like sort of. It's about having fun with it. Being creative and having fun is actually the core principles of Disney. It's what they believe in, like playing.
Hmm.
That's all we're doing as well. We're just playing with the character. We're just adults playing with the character. So when we're adults, you don't have horror movies for kids because you're kids. But so when adults, that's their fun. That's their escapism. We don't have cartoons,
Yeah.
horror movies. We know it's not realistic. It's just a bit of fun.
Hmm.
So yeah, for us, sort of, we're still just playing and being creative with the character. So I mean, I would love to see. This doesn't have to be me. I would love to see what happens in the next 10 years. All these characters are coming into public. Donald Duck, Goofy, Popeye,
Hmm.
Superman comes, Batman. They all come into public domain in the next 10 years. Sort of. So we're looking at
Wow.
a really interesting time because people are going to make movies, and I'm sure horror movies as well. So they're going to do both.
Hmm. 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 Now, when you were when you were working on
Oh, you went all
creating the
blur. You went all
atmosphere
blurry
of
on me,
this,
Ray.
oh no,
What happened?
oh no, I'm so sorry. What's happening here? I'm gone. I think Mickey's in my room. Oh
Oh,
God,
yes,
oh
you've got
no,
like a technical glitch
I don't know what's
demon
happening here.
taking over
I'm
your
so
laptop.
sorry, Simon.
That's all right. But all of a sudden it became
Yes, there
quite
is a
scary.
it's computer poltergeist. Oh no. Okay, look, you know what? I know. I'm just waiting. Are you in my living? Are you behind me, Mickey?
Don't
You
turn
know what?
around.
It's
Don't turn
my
around.
last question anyway. So I'm so sorry. This is the way we have to end our interview. I'm sorry
That's
for the
all,
technical glitch.
that's
I,
all
I
right.
will not. But Simon, it was so lovely chatting with you. Thank you for joining Screenfish today. It's been a treat. I look forward to the cinematic universe of Cold Hearted Killer Mickey, okay?
Thank you for having me, Raymond.